rainy ass day here in New York City.
Nah, this is not rain. This is a tsunami.
Is it the end of the world?
Maybe.
Like, what are things that are happening nowadays that make you feel like, yeah, it's the end of the world?
Every time I read comments on social media, like, burn this bitch down.
Krishan and Blueface.
Yo, nah,
I'm like, if this is our new Bobby and Whitney,
no,
then the world must be ending.
I am never talking about them.
The fact that I got to buy a bag to leave the supermarket. The world is ending. The fact
that the people in supermarkets don't even bag your shit anymore, like, that blows mine. Like, every time you see me there by myself and you don't even try to put one thing in my bag, I get mad.
Oh, they don't do that in Jersey?
No.
Yeah, we still have crackheads here.
So they just say, yeah, I know we got crackheads here. Yeah. Did you see the video of the dude that came off the train and somebody blew crack smoke on him? Yeah. Everybody kept sending me that video. I'm like, yo, I'm telling y'all, the crack smoke out here is real.
What else? What else is giving end of the world right now? I'll tell you what.
Everything.
I just saw that R. Kelly did a sold out concert in jail.
Excuse me?
I'm about to play it for you.
No, you're not.
Swear to God.
No, we're not doing that.
I said, yo, is this nigga is he gaining power?
Gaining power from other rapists and convicts.
Melly, turn the sound on the what's the name for me real quick, please.
No, that's crazy. I don't believe anything that you're talking about.
John, R. Kelly did a sold out show. Here we go right now. Come
on. What?
R. Kelly had a concert in jail.
Look, so many people. He's walking around like the fucking kingpin. He's got minions. He's praying and they're all praying. He's gaining power. What have we done? This nigga's turning into Thanos.
Nah, that's crazy.
How is R. Kelly running Westworth? What is it called? Wentworth.
What?
He's running the jail.
No way.
How do we stop him now?
No way.
When he's teaching it to people. Like he's because let's think about it. When he was out here, we worshiped that nigga before all of this. He was that
worship
nigga.
Is kind of wild.
He was that nigga.
Okay.
Do you want to come back with me to
I remember
America?
you playing that shit.
We worship this nigga. Now he's in there with people who have no hope, or they're like desperate for something to believe in, and we've given them R. Kelly. Remember them? What do we do if they escape from Arkham? And R. Kelly's the leader.
We don't do nothing. But yeah, he in Chicago, right?
You talk about going to Guyana, right? Well, you said you going to where your family's at?
I'll go right to Guyana, right to my daddy's house. He there right now.
What the fuck else? Trauma
Daddy,
here.
I will catch a flight.
Trauma in here. I noticed that you always fly too, by the way. What the fuck is up with you?
What do you mean?
How is it that you so stressed out? You go through all this shit, but you still manage to get up and get dressed and look nice every fucking day.
I don't know how to answer that question. I don't understand. When you ask me that question, I never know how to answer it. I have clothes and I wear them.
Why doesn't stress you out to the point where you look stressed out? You still show up nice and together.
Because if I looked like how I felt, I would be more depressed. Like, are you crazy? Like, could you freaking imagine like walking around on the outside looking like how you feel on the inside? Like, I'm so tired.
I don't have to imagine it. This is how I look at me. I don't got a haircut, nothing.
But you don't look bad.
Melly, the sound on the TV.
You don't look bad.
I feel bad.
I do too. My wig not even on. That's why I got the hat on. It's holding everything together.
We ain't gonna get back into this hats and wigs conversation.
I'm just saying, like,
can't even go.
This
pick
hat
up my
come off.
Kids.
My wig is probably back here right now.
Shout out to everybody out there that got you out that's still able to look like you got it together, even though it's falling the fuck apart.
It's very sad.
All
Every
over
day
the
is
place.
Saturday.
Sometimes I tweeted that yesterday. I said sometimes I feel like I got it all together. It's like everything is in place. I'm like, ooh, got it. Other days it feels like I'm holding on by a fucking thread, like holding on. And then other days I just don't even get out of bed and I just let life do what it's gonna do. Take it, just take it.
I wish I had that don't get out of bed option more often.
But you got kids and shit like that. You got the school kids
and shit, and I got that. And this year's been stressful. Like, I'm putting out little fires everywhere every minute. So
can we recover from this? What is the better side of life through all the stress that we're going on? What is the side where we're like, I got it? What does it look like for the masses?
I don't know. Because this is like, nobody was prepared for the life that we're currently living. Nobody could give advice for the life that we're currently living. Like, everybody is just every day just winging it. Just like, wake up and we just go and figure it out and then go. I don't know.
Do black people make it out of this in America? Is there a way out?
Why not? Why wouldn't we?
I don't see how.
We made it through everything else. Why we can't make it through this?
I think. Do you see the migrants issue? What the fuck is up with all of that?
I don't know. When I tell you I shut the world off.
Yeah, it's because you didn't even know it was a fucking monsoon outside. You blamed me for it.
I did, because you live here, so you would know that it was a monsoon outside. But like, I shut the world off. Like, when I'm in my house, like, I feel like everybody has like a safe space, or has like that space of like peace and tranquility. And for me, that's my house. That's on my couch. So when I get in the house and I get on that couch, nothing else matters. I'm zeroed in on Drew or Parker or Aaliyah, or like, I'm not.
You're ostriching.
How is that ostriching? How does that make me an ostrich?
You just put your head in the sand. I don't see anything.
Yeah.
Nothing's happening. Everything's fine.
Pretty much.
Yep. You're ostriching.
That's fine.
What the hell are you doing now?
I'm going to put my leg up.
I look at the way the world is, everything that's going on, and I say to myself, I'm not sure we have a way out of this. Black people.
Why is it black people? Everybody is
struggling. Because I don't give a fuck what the white people doing.
Okay.
It's not my concern.
That.
By the way, shout out to Offset for...
What's up with that girl? Like, who is she and what does she actually do?
I don't know, but she likes talking shit to people, and Offset just turned it all around her and wore her ass the fuck out. Lot. Yeah. Very fun guy.
Outside of his, like, music, like, the personality that we're starting to get of him, like, I like it a lot.
Really love it. Really enjoy it. It's often marred a lot by the thought of Takeoff being gone, and the little beefs that are popping up left and right towards a happy motherfucker that's just kind of minding his business. I don't see Offset starting much. It's like he always had to respond to some negative energy.
Yeah. And
he's young enough to have to respond to it. But besides that, yeah, I do enjoy that. But let me go back to the black people being lost and fucked up in this country.
Okay.
Because what happens? Where do we go? Where's paradise? Where's safe? Where's the safe haven when there's always some shit going on? They're sending the migrants up here. I'm wondering what the fuck do y'all like the migrants thing? The sanctuary city idea?
So what's happening? I really don't know.
I guess because they didn't build the Trump wall, the migrants are coming across hundreds of thousands at a time.
From Mexico?
I can't say hundreds of thousands, but yeah, I think so. Where else do you migrate from? I don't know.
What? There's so many other countries in the world.
So I don't know where the fuck they're coming from, but it's a lot of them. And the cities some cities are called sanctuary cities because so they don't get put deported or whatever. Say New York City is taking all of the migrants. They're saying like, bust them here. We'll house them.
Why would you do that in literally the biggest or largest populated city already in the country? There are homeless people here already. There are people that can barely afford to survive and sustain themselves here already. They're charging $2,000 in rent for a damn closet. And y'all like, bring more.
And they're putting them in hotels. And we're paying the hotels regular rates, I believe. Maybe not, but even if it's comparable to whatever it might cost to house somebody in a welfare situation, they're paying for that. This isn't a free stay. And the city is now your mayor.
My mayor? I don't live here.
He's a black man.
I told y'all not to vote for that bullheaded bitch. I told y'all to vote for Maya Wiley. I sat here on this couch.
Girl, that was 2 years ago.
I told y'all not to vote for that man.
Oh, God.
And y'all did it anyway. I don't live here. Have fun with your mayor. My mayor's doing awesome in Jersey.
He's saying that the city's going broke trying to house the migrants.
The city been broke. But yet you build in hundreds of $1,000s of robots for the police officers.
Oh, yeah, the robot officers. I worry about them. Can they teach them racism?
I'm sure they can. I'm sure you can like code color, like, oh, you got on a Nike Tech, shoot that nigger. Like,
if they have on Nike Tech, go to code 3.
Right, like, nah, I don't know, son.
The niggas is out here robbing stores left and right. Chanel, Louis Vuitton.
Cause niggas, to do what with it? Just to resell it? Like, what do you do with that? That's how I know that the world is like fucked up. Because if you really struggling, why are you robbing the Apple store when all the fucking phones have trackers on it? Why are you not robbing Walmart and getting groceries for your family? Y'all robbing Chanel, like, so you could just be poor and fly? What is the point? What's happening with the youth them?
You see what's going on in Philly?
I saw something with Meatball. That's her name? Meatball?
Mm-hmm.
A fat lady?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Somebody got shot or something, and they went start rioting everywhere and looting. Not rioting, but looting.
Because what does that do for you? How does that help you get the justice that you need?
I seen them rob a liquor store.
Nah, son.
They was running down the block with Hennessy.
This is exactly why I guess I'm an ostrich. I don't even want to know.
They was running down the block with Hennessy, Dodge. I saw that part. I was like, okay. I mean, priorities.
Where
it's
are
better,
the priorities?
What's better, the Hennessy or tissue? Toilet tissue.
Toilet tissue. Something that is actually like essential to life.
I don't know about that.
You gonna go, you got this bottle of liquor, you gonna go outside, you gonna drink it with the homies, it's gonna be gone today. You risk your life and your freedom for a bottle of liquor.
Yeah. Three bottles.
Oh, excuse me. What is that gonna last? A weekend?
Yeah, I don't know about this.
You don't think society is like in a blender? Like, you don't think that we're like in a big ass simulation?
A lot of times I feel like I'm running nowhere fast. I think that we're running nowhere fast. I think that we are at odds with each other, so we're doing a lot of the work. As Tron might say if he wasn't there. I'm looking at myself again. It's weird. This Tron sits on my face during the episode. You'd have to watch this show on YouTube to understand, but it's clearly my face under Tron's where he's supposed to be. He'll be here in 20 minutes, I suppose.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. But yeah, I got all of these fucking topics, and I want to discuss them amongst the three of us.
But so we're just gonna sit here and stare at each other till Charles.
I just no. All right, you want to start? All right, so
let's
boom.
start.
You see me and Sean start arguing in the chat this morning.
Y'all always arguing.
I feel very often he has to debate. I would rather, so when I'm speaking to somebody, right, and I do something wrong, I just say, yo, you honestly, I didn't mean to do that. Mm-hmm. I get why you feel like that. I didn't intend to do that, right? I got into a whole beef with somebody this week. I understood where they came from, even though that wasn't where I was doing.
Yeah.
What was coming off. I said, honestly, I never intended to make you feel that way. I understand I'm responsible for making you feel that way, but it wasn't my intent.
Okay.
My intent was this, but I can get why you got that. Is that not a good response to some shit?
I think that is, yeah.
And because I don't really need to beef with you at this point in life, me and beefing I'm so past beefing.
Right.
Me beefing is not speaking at this point. Mm-hmm. If I get to a point where I want to argue, I'm probably not going to talk. Because I know if I'm going to open my shit, I'm going to blow.
Blow a gasket.
Traum is different. And I wish he was here for this because I want to know, and maybe I can ask you, are you able to not argue with somebody? Are you able to have somebody who's trying to contest you? Do you have to respond? Or can you say okay and walk away?
Y'all saw me do it 2 weeks ago.
Nah.
I did.
Did you hear the episode with me and her?
I started it.
What'd you think?
I didn't finish it, so I can't make a conclusion.
Oh, you following your own advice. Did you think it was boring or something? You didn't see the way I was shading you in the episode?
You always shaded me. Bus driver. That's what we should call you, the bus driver.
Why?
Because I just feel like sometimes, and this is not a you thing.
Oh.
This might be.
Is anybody in there?
No, I'm trying to tell them now. I watched some of it.
And what'd you think?
I turned it off.
Why?
Because one, it was boring. To be very honest with you,
How was it?
It was boring.
How was it boring? Because it didn't fit your narrative?
Yeah.
Bro, you literally sat here and told this girl to watch the whole thing.
I did. And she didn't do it. She still didn't do it.
She said she was going to watch it.
Did she watch it?
If you listened to the episode...
Yeah. She said she was going to watch it?
She said she was going to watch. She was actually turning the shit on as we got off the thing to watch the whole thing. Because I addressed her not watching the whole thing.
I feel like because that's your friend too, that you didn't take that strong of a position. You kind of played the middle.
Am I not supposed to?
I feel
Would you like it if it was you and I didn't?
I feel like if it was me and I was dead ass
You
wrong,
always play the middle when it comes to me and your friends. You never take a strong position.
Lie again.
We
got into a whole argument. We got into a whole argument because I took a strong position with you versus one of my friends because you was dead ass wrong.
I'm always dead wrong. That don't mean you got to act like I'm dead wrong.
Oh, I'm sorry. So
like,
you want me,
understand
so you
what
want
being
me
a
to play
friend
the
is.
middle?
I understand what being a friend is.
A real friend is going to tell your friend like, "Yo, you was wilding."
Yeah, but you don't have to tell the other person that.
No, but I'm just saying, like, you're having a conversation with your friend, and I didn't feel you don't think you was wilding a little bit?
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I told you that I thought you was wilding a little bit.
Me?
Yes. And I told her that I thought she was wilding a little bit.
But how was I wilding?
The fact that you wanted to walk into the conversation and contest her, you wanted to confront her, and then the minute it happened, you didn't know how to gauge still being the host of the show. You wanted to attack. I had this nigga. I'm on this nigga. You ain't got to jet out of the motherfucking joint.
I don't agree.
I don't agree that I had him either. Now that I think about it, the minute I said that, I was like, eh.
Like, did you really? Or, like, are we just making things up right now?
Well, you weren't alone. And contrary to popular belief, people did feel that you were alone. And I'm like, how am I supposed to, like, am I supposed to jump my guests? Like, what am I supposed to do? Because I don't know. Anyway, Liz and I had a great conversation. You know, I shaded you a little bit.
You did.
It's a problem?
It's always a problem. I always have a problem with you.
Why?
Because you're an asshole.
You deserve to be shaded a little bit, and it helped push the conversation forward.
Oh, so throw me under the bus so that you can push the conversation forward.
Yeah.
Because I'm obviously the problem.
You, nigga, you literally are going viral right now for calling me dumb and stupid.
I didn't call you dumb, and I didn't call you
said,
stupid. I said y'all
dumb,
niggas are stupid.
So if I'm the one you're talking to, I'm the representative of said y'all. You're calling me dumb and stupid.
I didn't say
you're
dumb.
using me to prove a point to the masses about us. So, you're throwing me under the bus.
Okay.
Virally.
Don't get mad at me because my takes go be going viral. I have nothing to do with that.
I felt it was a lot to say. I would never call you stupid. I would never call you dumb.
Your feelings are hurt?
No, I'm used to it. And that's bad. Oh. When you get used to taking abuse from a person continuously.
Who abuses you? Me?
Very much so. Verbally.
I verbally abused
you. tried to attack me physically here this
You
morning.
bumped me.
There's not enough room in here.
So what you saying is your house is little?
My house is small. Look at the space right here. There's no space. I'm trying to get past.
You ain't saying excuse me or nothing. You dead
you
bumped
turned
me.
around and tried to you tried to.
Because you bumped me, so I bumped your ass back.
And this is
don't
why
bump
I asked
me.
you, are you angry?
I'm not angry, but why would you bump me?
But why would you think that it was in an aggressive
You know what?
state?
I have a question for you. Because you decided to go on Twitter and go on a whole rant about how people with siblings like to share, and how because you an only child, you not a sharing ass nigga, and you don't understand that. But why is it that you get it when it's done to you, but you never get it when you do it to me?
I don't know what you mean.
constantly take shit that you know is mine.
Constantly. It's crazy.
Yes. You have eaten my cookies.
They're in my house.
You took my water.
All right, it was in my house.
You took my Red Bull.
It was
But
in
you
my
know
house.
it wasn't yours.
But it's in my house.
So it doesn't matter.
It's
If
a
you was to
closed
leave
Red
something
Bull.
in my house and I knew it wasn't mine, I'm not going to drink it or eat it. I feel like at some point you're going to come back to my house. So your shit's still going to be here. I don't touch nothing that don't belong to me.
Do I not share with y'all often?
What you share with me?
Liquor, food.
You share that
space.
with Trom and I be on the back end.
So, I give Sean liquor and not you?
I never walk in here and be like, yo, make me a drink. Ever.
Yeah, yes, you
When?
do.
When?
Of course you do. You're like, I want to drink today. You say that. I want to drink today.
When was the last time I said that?
I'm not a fucking timeologist. I don't know when the last
the
time
fuck
it
is a
was.
timeologist?
But you do it.
No, I
You
don't.
act like you don't do some shit that you obviously do.
I
You always
don't.
asking for shit.
When?
You always need some shit.
When?
You always want to share some shit. And at the end of the day is, you leave a fucking one closed Red Bull in my refrigerator?
Because
I have to
Trom
avoid the
bought me
one
two.
Red Bull? I don't give a fuck.
You 50 years old. You're
you
not even
left
supposed
it
to be
here.
drinking Red Bull. Care
Yo,
about your health.
yo.
I thought you drink water only. Now all of a sudden
I
niggas
am
is drinking Red
water.
Bull.
I am drinking water. Look, there's a water right here. But at the end of the day is, you leave one ass Red Bull and you're laying claim to that next week. Where's my Red Bull?
Yes, because
Like,
why would
grow
you
the
touch
fuck
it?
Up. It's the poorest mentality I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, so now I'm poor.
It's a
because
poor mentality.
because I have
Oh,
something
you
here
took my
and you
Red
touched
Bull.
it, but you mad because somebody else drank your drink on the side of the fucking bed? It was there,
Huh?
huh?
No, that's not what happened.
What hapappened?
I made a drink
Right.
for myself. Now, this is a carefully crafted,
Oh, come on, carefully
Beverage.
crafted. Come on.
carefully crafted. It had lemon juice.
Mm-hmm.
It had agave syrup in it.
Uh-huh.
It had triple sec. It had a Cointreau in it. It had fucking tequila in it of the highest agave fruit berry or whatever it is.
What the fuck are you doing?
Right? I'm pouring. I put it in my margarita mixer. You're laid out in the bed. I pour it through the strainer into my glass, my margarita glass. I got margarita glasses from Bespoke Post. Check it out. They have like sprinkles and shit, little whatever.
understand.
I pour it in there with crushed ice. I go in the room. I'm sipping my shit. She wakes up. I go do something. I turn around. She's sitting there with both hands drinking my drink. I'm like, hello? Grab my drink. Would you like one? What makes you
But
think
when
this
you
is a
drank my
shareable thing?
water,
This is
You
not
ain't-
a,
you
it's a
ain't-
Poland Spring. It's a closed
It
Poland
doesn't
Spring.
fucking matter.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
It is. It's not carefully crafted.
Oh, now
it's one of the
everything's
cheapest
carefully
waters
crafted.
on the market.
all right. So basically, what you're doing is you're speaking down on the things that I like and the things that I have, and then in the same time, it's the cheapest water, but you drink it. It's just a random Red Bull, but you drink it. Why you care so much about these little minuscule poor things that I have around the house?
It's not the house. That's the difference.
Oh, I'm sorry, around the studio.
It's
I
my
left
house.
it. I left it in the
It's
fridge of the
literally- it's
studio.
My house.
Well, then stop making the
My
studio your house.
It's I want to.
So then do that.
But even if I didn't, and we were at a studio, and I opened the fridge in the studio, and there was a Red Bull,
that you knew was mine, you can
I'm
still drink
drinking
it.
it. This is not your fucking lunch
This is why
refrigerator
you
at
deserve
work.
to get popped in the fucking forehead most of the time, because you rude. And you don't like when people do to you what you do to other people. You rude.
Get the fuck out of here.
I can't read the comments.
These
Put
people
my
in here.
glasses on.
Here, look. These people, and then Melly's in there adding to
Yeah,
the-
because
to the
it was
fire.
literally 1 week, yo. I came in here dead dog tired. I asked for a Red Bull. Tron was like, yo, I bought you 2. I said, I bet I'm going to leave the other one in the fridge. I come back the next week, my shit gone. You know I'm here every Friday. Why are you drinking
There's
my
no
stuff?
such thing as your shit if you left it here. Once you dip out and you gone, don't leave no shit in my refrigerator.
Alright, so.
What the fuck?
So I gotta come here from work with all my shit, all my work shit every day, every Friday, and I gotta go to the store and I gotta recoup on things. I can't
Son.
just leave stuff here. I'm here
Son.
every week.
No. And you know what you can get the fuck out of here too? Your fucking glass that you left in here with
This
your
is my
damn name.
glass.
It's your glass in my fridge. This is my house.
It's been here for years,
Get
and
it
it's
the
mine.
fuck out of here.
No, because it's my glass.
It's so
because
good.
when a black woman speaks, you need to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, once you leave it in my motherfucking crib for 24 hours or more, it is up for fucking grabs. And there's a store in every corner.
You a bum.
From here to where you get off the train, there's a corner store. There's another corner store. There's another corner store. And then you get to my house.
But why do I have to go buy a Red Bull when there was already one here for me?
Yo, I'm going to tell y'all right now, nobody here provides fucking tequila. Nobody here, I don't give a fuck what you say.
Dead ass wrong.
Nobody here provides tequila. Nobody here provides triple sec. Nobody here provides Douce, Hennessy, wine. Every week they come in, they drink it. It's fucking 10:30, 11 o'clock right now. By the end of the episode, somebody's going to be drinking something that they did not pay for. You're going to tell me about drinking a goddamn Red Bull?
That's crazy.
Or eating a cookie?
Stop eating my fucking cookies,
You leave a pack of cookies? I can't have a cookie?
No, nigga.
Motherfuck, you lying. You're fucking lying your ass off. God damn it. I don't give a goddamn.
We know you don't.
I'm going to eat a cookie if I need a cookie. It's in my fucking house.
That's crazy.
The fuck?
It's very raggedy of you.
Yo, Melly's just in there pouring salt.
I wish I could see it,
gas.
but I can't put my glasses on with my hat right now.
She's nuts. Shout out to Melly being nuts over there and enjoying chaos.
You are chaos.
I don't think
you are
that.
the embodiment of chaos.
I wonder Melly X-Tron what's his ETA? let's get it. He's gonna walk in there like, hey.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah. Nah, yeah, it wasn't open. Goddamn.
No, it was
I don't
not
give
open.
a fuck about none of that.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm here to start it up again. Yeah. Because we just left it right and all.
Believe that.
Look at you. I know you fucking lying. Yo, do they hate us? Do they hate us?
I think everybody hates me.
I feel like listen, Trav. I feel like we did an hour of fucking talk, but Tron wasn't here, and I have all of these topics that I wanted to talk about, but I didn't want to talk about them without Tron. So Dodge and I was just kicking the shit. We're gonna put that on Patreon for the people that having the extra hour during their work that they want to listen to some shit.
I think it said I'm wilding. Only knew what I did to get here on time.
How about just coming in yesterday? Oh, you couldn't make it yesterday because of the rain.
I couldn't get on the flight.
Yeah. How's your life? How's everything?
Everything good, man. Beyonce fucked up my plans.
What happened with Beyonce?
Because she was in New Orleans at the same time as me. She want to pop up when I'm there, and now I can't get no flights, you know?
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah.
Did you go to see Beyonce?
I did.
It's the excitement on your face for me. Was it amazing?
Wait, did you plan to go see Beyonce?
Yeah.
So why are you making it seem
like it's her fault?
Yeah, like she just popped up on you. Because
I didn't realize that many people travel to go see her. I'm thinking I'm gonna go.
Did you travel to go see her?
Yeah, but I'm different. Like, you know what I mean?
See, trauma is a very essential part of the show.
I'm confused. I'm literally like bewildered at the fact, the main character syndrome of this nigga. And this is why I say that people that like him are the worst people in the world. These moved by my own drum. Hey, it just happened. It is what it is type of niggas. Fuck up the way of the world. I don't give a fuck what the world going through. I just woke up. Hey, don't give a fuck. Something's supposed to be going on. I'll be there when I get there. Yes, I'm talking about you. Now, I do want to know. Were you trying to argue with me this morning?
Nah.
You sure you wasn't trying to argue with me?
So did you get a text from me that said, I thought you said you was leaving at 2:30?
Yes.
On my end, it said that text didn't go through. So when you did get it, was probably 30 minutes after I sent it. So you probably got it after Dodge had said the same thing. Mm-hmm. And you like, why is this nigga still on this 2:30 shit?
Exactly.
So afterwards, I'm like, oh, that's probably
so what happened is I'm supposed to pick up my kids today. This is why we're doing, I got a show tonight with this group. I asked Dodge to be there last minute, but she said she can't make it. The monsoon happened. We said we was going to record at 10 a.m. Trump couldn't make it. He's stuck in New Orleans. Mm-hmm. Said he couldn't make it. He was stuck in New Orleans trying to get here, right? So they're like, yo, can we do it a little later? And I'm like, nah, I told y'all. I had to pick up my kids from Harlem at 2:30. The wording in me saying that kind of made y'all believe that I had to leave at 2:30.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Versus saying.
Yo,
Son, that girl.
Melly, I love you so much. Cause the wording, alright, whatever.
The wording said I have to pick up my sons from Harlem at 2:30.
Right.
That's what the wording said. Somehow, y'all read I have to leave to go to Harlem at 2:30. It said from Harlem at 2:30. Somehow I got it. I screenshot it. Y'all want to see it? You want me to put it on the big screen?
I believe you.
Somehow.
I went back and looked at it
2:30.
because then you came in the chat and you was like, "Yeah, I told you I gotta leave at 1:30," and I'm like,
I didn't
"I
say
thought
that.
you said 2:30."
I didn't say that. I didn't say I had to leave at 1:30, but goddamn it, I would think that y'all know if I got to get to Harlem from Brooklyn and I got to be there at 2:30.
Shit.
What time y'all think, nigga? You do this every?
Right. I'm thinking you might have to leave at 1, especially today.
Oh, I'm not going. I
Oh,
canceled.
okay.
Told them kids get on the goddamn school bus. See
Get
you when
on
I
the
see you,
bus.
nigga.
Okay, it's like,
Yeah, Trav. To me, that means I got to be there at 2:30. So me and Dodge had this little back and forth. We always do it. It's fine. It was over. Trom is not responding. I'm assuming he's on the flight. He's not saying much. And then I get a text from Trom. I thought you said 2:30, and I'm just like, that's like, yo, are y'all trying? Do you want to debate this? Then I said that. I said, do you want to debate this at 9:25 a.m.? This nigga Trom says, what'd he say?
Said, are you directing that question
he
at
said,
me?
"Who are you directing that question
yeah.
to?" I was on the back cracking the fuck
I was
up.
like,
You
oh,
see, I didn't
shit.
say nothing.
It's about to
Who
go
were
down.
you directing that question to?
Then Tahoe said, "LMAO, is that your version of wait what?"
Yeah. Because first of all, I don't want to argue. I'm not mad. Because I
I-
don't want to start an atmosphere where we walk in here on edge.
So me neither. I literally texted, I literally typed, who you talking to? But I was like, that's going to come off aggressive.
You know what I'm saying?
So I changed, I deleted
That's
it.
what I thought it was.
I thought so too.
Who you talk? Like, really?
So I was like,
Fuck
no,
you
that ain't
talking
going to
to?
look right. You know, text could lead to miscommunication.
And sure enough, you
You know, the tone. I was literally trying to figure out, are you talking to me? Because all I did was tell you my ETA is 11:30.
Look, and so this is what I felt. I was like, yo, that sounds like a very middle class way of saying who the fuck is you talking to?
Right.
Yo, first of all, Trom then says, "LOL, I'm confused, but not trying to sound aggressive. My messages may not have gone through as I was sending them, so the timing may be off." Then Tahoe says, "LOL, who were you directing that question to? Is very middle class. Fuck is you talking to?"
It's a very whitewashed way of saying, fuck is you talking to?
I agree.
I agree, it's crazy.
No, I did that on purpose. I was like, yo, who you talking to is aggressive.
And so this made me come up with this idea. I'm like, it's Trump, because I know you.
Mm-hmm.
You can't say, all right, you have to have a comeback. You have to come back. It's like, you can't just accept, you're going to get your point across. So I'm like, are you the type that has to argue?
Nah, I literally did not know if you're talking to me. Because remember, I didn't think you got my text about 2:30. So I'm like,
You're doing it right now.
The last thing that I said was what?
You
I'm
got to
doing it.
defend. You can't say, nah, I'm not. You're going to fight.
I like for you to know what's going on.
So you will have to respond. You have to get that shit off.
You know why? Because I make a lot of sense. So I don't like when people act like I'm just throwing shit out there out of the sky. Like, no, the reason why I said these things is because of XYZ. I need you to understand this. Because the way you're talking to me is if I'm a nutcase and I'm just throwing shit out the wind and it ain't making sense. So no, I'm gonna clarify.
Do you?
So I
how
do that
often? 0 to 10. No, not how often. Like, just give. How many times do you say, you know what? I'm not going to engage this.
I do that all day.
With who?
Everybody. I know I'm a king of unbothered. Like, I let shit slide all the time.
You're the king of passive aggressiveness as well.
I mean, you know, it's better than being Overtly aggressive.
Me? He's like, I can agree with that. I just, Dash, you think that you know how to avoid arguments.
Yeah.
I think that you give off the energy like, don't fuck with me, more than, hey, I'm not going to argue.
That's not a me thing. That really has nothing to do with me.
The way I take it?
The energy that I give off, or the perception of that
It has something to do with you.
That literally doesn't have anything to do with me. I be chilling. And if I give off that don't fuck with me, then that's on you. That's how you perceive me. I 9 times out of 10 think I'm chilling.
Remember when we was doing the Liz episode?
I'm sorry. Mm-hmm.
And they mentioned the non-verbals. Non-verbals is communication.
It is.
By the way, I did an episode with Liz on Patreon. It was pretty cool. I thought it was cool. Dodge said that she didn't fuck with it. Said that I was throwing her under the bus. I didn't feel like
he was right in the middle.
I was being a moderator. I was being a moderator.
Oh, okay, I love that for you.
You felt, what else you felt? You felt that she was not taking accountability?
No, I just feel like I did not see the point where, and maybe I should go watch it again or finish it. I did not see the point where it was like, you know what? We did kind of come off a little crazy looking back at it. My fault. I don't see that part. And because I didn't see that part, then
do you think you would have said that?
Yeah.
Daj, do you know you? No,
I don't know me at all. I'm sorry, we've never met.
Do y'all really think that Dodge would have came after a confrontation of some sort, going back on that platform and saying, yeah, I can see where I fucked up?
But no, don't do that, because I do that shit all the time. And when I did it with Rico, you came over here and made it seem like I was a whole pussy because I do that.
I did.
If I see something,
it was kind of pussy.
So now I'm a pussy.
No, that was kind of pussy, but go ahead.
If I see something or something happens and it changes, I change my mind on it or I change my perspective on it versus how I felt in the moment, I don't have a problem saying, like, you know what? In that moment, I felt like this. I could have been wilding. Let's see. Or I could be like, in that moment, I was wilding. I looked back and I saw it. I did this shit actually with Dina and Trav the other day. Because Dina and Trav, we had a conversation. Dina felt some type of way about something that I had said on Twitter. And we had like a whole discourse. Me, her, and Trav, like I had a whole back and forth about it. And then I thought about it. No, we have in our own shit.
Y'all got another chat?
Yeah.
That I'm not in?
Anyway, so we
She's
spoke about
in the other chat? Yo,
I think you are in there. I just don't know if you actually be on it.
I love it.
But anyway, so Dina and Trav, like, they basically pulled my card on something, and then when I went back and reread the conversation, yeah, you are in it. I know you was in it. When I reread the conversation, I went on Twitter and I said, yo, I had a conversation with 2 people that I hold their opinions very dearly. So I had to take a second and reflect on some things that I felt and let me fix it. So then I fixed it, and then I had like this whole viral tweet about how parents at home can effectively help their children with literacy and it not be like a heavy lift on the parent, and gave tips and tools, and like I made like a whole thread. And that was based off the conversation I had with them. I have no problem going back and saying, all right, I was wrong in a moment, my bad, let me fix it. But there's not many times that I feel that way, and I'm sorry that I don't feel that way all the time. Sometimes I stand on the hills I want to die on.
Did you hear the point in the Liz episode where she says, I really fuck with Dodge. I'm always championing her. I'm always like happy with her. I never meant for it to go that route. I understand that, but then I also feel like I have friends. I used to have a friend that was real combative. And it was like oil and water sometimes, bringing her around new people, around different people, because she was just a very combative type of person. So I would pick and choose who I brought that person around. If I know that my friend is like this or my family is like this, I'm not going to bring them in certain spaces because I know how they could be. And I've said it time and time again. I never had a problem with Liz. I can go back and forth with a woman all day and we could combat and we can
go back and forth and like you feel your way, I feel my way. We could argue it out because we're girls. I'm not doing that with a man. And if you know your brother is combative and you know your brother don't like to listen to people when they speak, and you say you fuck with me, so you know who I am to a certain extent, you should have been able to gauge that me and your brother would have probably been oil and water. My issue was never Liz.
She didn't invite him. I did. And I don't know her brother.
But she does know her brother. So that would be like
there.
you have and the friend that I'm talking about, you have invited, you have said like, yo, bring that person on the show, and I've told you time and time again, no. No. We so shameless, but no, like she's another level. She gonna get us up off this couch for real with the shit that comes out of her mouth, because she don't have a filter and she don't have a platform and she don't have social media, so it would have never worked. I used to tell you all the time,
people that think they can just talk. There's a way to speak on these shows.
There's a way to do it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I know the people that I'm around, and I know who I can bring and who I can't.
Let me ask you a question. Liz asked if you would sit down with her on, do a little Patreon show with just you and her. She said, I told her that she would have to listen to the whole episode.
That sounds spicy.
She wants to have it. She was like, you aren't the person. She actually said, you aren't the person I really want to talk to. Dodge is the person I want to talk to.
And I said that we can have that conversation. But now, honestly, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about diaspora wars again?
I feel like I just would like to watch y'all fight. Anyway.
What? Why are we fighting?
So I honestly think that y'all would have a productive conversation.
About what, though?
We never really finished that conversation.
We didn't. And now I'm over it. So what are we going to talk about?
You're over it, but I think it's something, it would bring some closure to the situation. Like, I ain't gonna front. That clip with the diaspora was probably, if not our most viral clip. And so it's obviously touched a lot of people. And I think it's important to bring it full circle and to have that conversation with you and Liz. I think it would be not just good content, but just good just for the community,
She don't got no beef with me. I don't have no beef with her. We don't have no beef with each other. But Ray,
that's why it's just you and Liz.
Ready to open the Frank stand?
If I knew that wasn't really your friend, I would have let the Frank stand fly that day. But I was trying to be respectful.
Trump said he speaks to him almost every week.
I hate that for you.
I did not say that. Speaks to him every week.
Okay.
Ray's. That's another situation, because you got my man type. Like, so that make it even worse. So now it's really up for you. Drew don't be mad about nothing, but Drew was pissed.
I will say this: like, I considered Ray a friend and somebody that I got respect for and a good dude, but I've never seen him in that kind of context.
Seen him abuse women.
What's that? What'd you say?
Never seen him verbally assault women.
Right. And this goes back to the larger
conversation. I'm gonna keep speaking.
Yeah, what's up with you, bro?
But
anyway,
like Liz said, that's probably a cultural thing.
It's a cultural thing.
So, it is a cultural. I know it's a cultural thing. If it's one thing I know African men. And this is why
all that way?
A lot of African men are like that. That's why I had to beat up my boss when I worked at the Nami. Remember? Mm-hmm. I had to punch that nigga in the mouth, because it's like, who are you talking to, bro? Like, stop talking to me crazy. Yes.
Oh.
I did.
Yeah, I mean,
and I'll do it again.
That's the only option.
And you want to know? And the funniest thing to me was, I whooped his ass, and then my boyfriend at the time, I did a lot that day. And then my boyfriend at the time pulled up to the spot with all his friends, and the nigga wouldn't come outside. Why nobody ever want to face other men?
Wait, this is your boss?
Yeah.
Wow.
When I worked at the Nigerian restaurant, he fake tried to choke me, so I fucked him up.
You living out a lot of people's dreams to fuck up their boss.
Yeah.
After he fake tried to fuck them up, she calls motherfuckers
No, I called my boyfriend at the time. My boyfriend pulled up with his friends. It was my boyfriend at the time. It was Kami, and it was two other niggas. They pulled up. Literally, it was 4 cars outside of the shit, and he would not come outside.
Why would he?
Yeah,
he already got beat up by you. Why do I need to fight the rest of the niggas? These other niggas.
Because you ain't have no problem. He tried to attack me.
Wow.
No, you said
yes, he did.
He verbally fucked with you, and you punched him in the mouth.
No,
now you're changing. That's not what she said.
But I said he tried to choke me.
Abusive.
It was verbally, and he went like his hands was like this, and he went. He ain't touch me because he ain't get the chance to, because all I saw was this coming at me. So it was a very doop, and a couple of things flew from the bar. I don't like men talking to me crazy. And y'all know how I feel about that. I always say that I don't argue with men. I don't like men talking to me crazy. And if I feel like you talking to me crazy, I'm either going to not say anything or I'm going to beat you up. So there's no in between. I'm not that fixed yet.
I have a few relationship questions to ask. These aren't typical, I don't think.
Okay.
But as y'all know, first of all, I would like to y'all to know dating is hell. It's very whack. 0 out of 10 would not recommend. In that, I realized that a lot of people I'm establishing non-negotiables. That's
important.
Deal breakers. Mm-hmm. That is just like, I know this is not gonna, you know what I'm saying? One of them obvious if you're just a bad person. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Fat ass, titties, all that shit don't matter. Bad person, nah, I'm not interested. This is gonna come my way sooner or later. Mm-hmm. What are 3 deal breakers for y'all when trying to date somebody? Obvious or not obvious?
Deal breakers.
All right, I can give you categories. I have 3 categories.
Okay.
One is who you are as a person. One is intellect, and one is materialistic. So
you can't be materialistic.
No,
you have to be materialistic.
I'm giving you like the category, right? You can't. If you can't match my fly, I can't date you. Like, if I feel like if we don't look together as a unit, I can't date you because it's like. And I don't want to be shallow in that way, but it's very much like, what are you wearing?
You can't build. You can build that. You can put clothes on somebody.
You can, but I don't have the mental capacity to dress me and dress you too.
You dress your
I
nigga
can
right
buy
now.
you. No. I don't dress my nigga. If I buy my nigga a shirt, he know how to put the shit together. If I buy my nigga some kicks, he know how to put it together. I'm not sitting there like
you're literally giving him the tools.
But you've seen people that will have on fly shit and wear it wrong.
It's me all day. Look at me.
Green and green. Change the shirt, but that's
green and green. That's what I do.
But what I'm saying is, like, I personally can't. Like, that would piss me off, especially if you're dating somebody. Like, so it's one thing. Me and Drew, we live together, right? So he could be like, "Yo, babe, this look good." I'm like, "Yeah, I look fire." Da, da, da. But if we don't live together, that means that you gotta come to me in something.
Oh, that's horrible.
And then you pull up on me and you got on the wrong shit. Like, if you come up to me and your shoes is laced mad tight and you got a bow in front of your shit and you a grown man, why you lacing your sneakers up? Like,
you can't have a bow?
No, you cannot. Don't lace your sneakers up and walk up to me with your tight ass Jordans. Like, no. No, son.
Wait, you can't have a bow?
What are you putting a bow in your shit? You a grown ass man.
You slipping out of your
Why are you slipping out your? You can't walk.
Yo,
what you mean?
I need security.
You can't tie your laces?
What are you tying your laces for?
So you don't sprain your ankle.
Cause y'all niggas is 50. Yes. I'm not there yet.
I need security. What are you talking about?
I don't tie none of my shoes. I slip them on and slip them off.
Nah, so actually, I understand that look. I prefer that look. But if a nigga don't come with that look,
I'm gonna be like, yo, why your Jordans so tight?
I prefer the look as well, but I also prefer not for my sneakers to be coming
slipping,
off in the back.
But why are they coming off in the back and they're not your size? I'm confused.
I have sensitive
I ain't tied your shoe in years.
I don't want to be wearing loose sneakers or tight sneakers.
What if a nigga pull up and his Timbs is like laced up? Why your Timbs laced up?
Oh, to the point where them shits is.
Oh yeah, that's
like
different.
Timbs is different.
That's different.
What's the difference between Timbs and Jordan 1s?
Because the
They both
Tim
high tops.
actually holds your feet. It's like
your Jordans will too if they your size.
No, I'm not. It's too much. You're doing too much.
I ain't never laced a Jordan yet. I slip them in. I slip them out. I don't lace my shoes.
You know what? You're right in a way. Because you're right. The Jordans have that thing where you get in there and it kind of holds your feet. But I'm only talking about 3s and 4s. I don't know the other sneakers. What's wrong?
1s, 3s, 4s, 12s. You lace a 12, I'm gonna punch you in the face, bro.
A deal breaker.
I say the first thing that comes to mind is like jealousy or insecurity. Mm-hmm. I've always had a lot of lady friends, so it's like you can't just be wilding out because I got a bunch of attractive friends and stuff like that. Especially when I was working in nightlife and stuff. Mm-hmm. So that was always a big test. Anybody I'm dating, I would actually like to bring you to a social environment.
You gotta be able to. You gotta
see how you interact with
around other chicks.
Yeah, are you comfortable around chicks that look good? Are you comfortable around my niggas? Like, how do you react in social environments? You know what I mean? So that was always.
Am
a
I
big
wrong
test.
for thinking that a woman not being able to cook is a deal breaker for me?
That's your deal breaker.
Yeah, that's your deal breaker. That's not a deal breaker for me.
Dodge rolled her eyes. Why'd you roll your
I don't
eyes?
have nothing to say to you,
That's
bro.
top 3 though.
Right, like how's that at the top?
That is something that I've realized is a non-negotiable for me. You want to know why?
Why?
It's not because I need her to cook for me. But what the fuck you been doing your whole life? What the fuck have you been doing that you don't know how? That you really will say that out loud. You won't try.
Yeah.
You haven't gone to this recipes.
Fact.
White people can cook. And when you was a
What?
black woman can't cook. They have recipes. They have recipes. They have recipes. If they have recipes, they can do something. You have
You
no
know what?
recipes.
I'm
You
not
do
gonna
not
hold you.
tried. You can't make a French toast, an omelet, bitch. What the fuck have you been doing your whole life?
You're right. It does say
I'm
something
not
about
gonna hold you. I feel the same way about men. I
Yeah.
feel that same way about men. Like,
It
oh, I
says
can't
something
cook.
if he
Like,
won't
what you
do
mean
it.
you can't, son? Like, you
won't.
can't?
You won't.
Yeah.
Like, nah.
That's the problem.
Niggas be like, don't trust me in the kitchen. I can't even boil water. How you can't boil water, bitch?
You won't.
Like,
You won't. That says something to me about how you take care of yourself, and how you take care of yourself is going to reflect on how you take care of other people. I can't fuck with it at this age.
okay. I'm not mad at you.
That's
I'm
true.
not-
I cannot.
And that's basic survival tactics and
Right.
being resourceful. Like, how functional are you as a human being if you can't supply food and nutrients for
You
yourself?
will not. You won't. You will depend on other people. You wind up in Applebee's at $2 Tuesdays and shit every fucking Tuesday. I cannot. What are you laughing at?
I'm here with you. I'm not against you. I'm not against
I
Yeah,
cannot.
it
bro.
actually makes a lot of sense. I get it.
Another deal breaker. It's not that cheap. This isn't that bad. No friends.
Oh yeah.
For me, women are community.
Yeah, if you don't have friends, that bothers me too.
That fucks with me.
Yeah.
If you have no community,
Yeah.
if everybody's done something to you, there's always an issue with everybody else.
Yeah.
I will become the issue sooner or later. That says something to me about how you relate to other people. And I know sooner or later that virus is going to spread to me.
Or if you don't become the issue, she might just grasp onto you too tight because she don't have her own life.
Yeah, and then your friends become her friends. That shit is weird. You know what? I agree with the friends thing, but I judge people more by the longevity of their friendships than the number of friends that they have. If all your friends, like, oh yeah, this is my friend. How long y'all been friends? For 3 years, 2 years, a year? If you in your 30s and you don't have a 15, 20 year around you, I'm judging the fuck out of you. You ain't have nobody that was there that was sitting there doing the grinding beat on the fucking lunch table with you. You're the problem. You remember when niggas was like,
Yeah. You have people that know you.
why you don't know that?
They fuck
Yeah,
with
yeah.
you for that long. That nobody does. You've ruined and thrown away every single meaningful relationship in your life. That bothers me.
Yeah.
That bothers me. Trom, I have a question.
Yes.
And I'm not sure if I'm standing on this. But women being broke, how do you feel about that?
I'm alright with that.
Doesn't bother you?
Yeah.
Broke.
So it's kind of like what you was talking about cooking. I don't need you to cook for me, but it's about your attitude towards cooking. Like, you really didn't try to acquire those skills. So you could be broke, but you can't be a bum. That's different.
Yeah,
You could be
Process.
broke, could be temporary. You could be very ambitious, but you just don't got it right now. You might be in between jobs, whatever. You might have went back to school, whatever. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna judge your pockets, but I'm gonna judge your mentality, your ambitions, and shit like that. Like, what do you want for your life? Like, what's your standards? Like, are you just looking for a come up, or are you trying to get it on your own? Are you, like Dawes said, are you intelligent enough to get it on your own? Can you make moves? That's what I'm gonna judge you on.
Dash,
I hate a man that
a
can't
man
spell.
being broke.
Oh.
Man being broke. I agree with you there. Because that's a choice.
Yo, it's a
what?
choice.
W-U-T?
It's a
Is that means you know how to spell
Yo,
what.
The way you
You
text.
know. You're choosing.
W-A-T.
That shit is such a nasty turn
You
off.
ever date somebody that texts with like caps, lowercase, like on one word? Like what? What are you? 12 years old?
I've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it too.
Date them.
Yeah,
that scares me. It gives chlamydia. It gives unsafe.
It gives chlamydia.
This does not feel safe.
Phonics
for me.
chlamydia.
You understand what I'm saying?
Phonics chlamydia.
Something's wrong with you. You live in East New York. You walk around with razors under your tongue. So it's not safe. Dash, would you date a guy that's broke if you were single?
At what age?
Right now.
At this age? Nah. Ain't no way.
Yeah.
Ain't no way.
What if he's ambitious?
I love that for you.
You really, so the fact that he's struggling or whatever, he could be on his way to being Kanye.
Not at 30 years old. Not in your 30s. You can be on your way. No, you can be on your way. Yeah.
Have things going on. Just
absolutely.
As far as ideas
but you
and
also,
like that,
but you're supposed to be so ambitious at this point in your life that you don't even have time for me. Go get it. No.
So where does a man have to be in his financial space to
wherever he's comfortable?
What if he's comfortable?
Oh, you said
broke?
To date me?
Yeah.
Then you're comfortable being broke. You're not going to date me.
Right now, because I know that my bills are paid. Like you said, we were speaking about this in the pre-show.
Yeah.
Your bills are paid, but you don't have it right now.
Yeah.
But that's okay with you to be, but a guy dating you, it's not okay.
But if I was not in a relationship right now, I would not be dating.
Yeah, women just lie.
Why would I lie?
Because the reason I say that is
I would not be dating.
Women,
I'd be fucking, but I'm not
talking
dating.
about how they listen. Women don't really have to come with money into a dating scene. Y'all don't.
But I'm uncomfortable when I don't.
Of.
When I'm uncomfortable, I said this earlier. When I don't have a certain amount of money, it doesn't matter about anything. Me and my girlfriend got into it about this because this summer she wanted me to go out and do things, and I'm just like, nah. My finances are not where I'm comfortable. I'm not coming outside. And she's like, but I got you. And I'm like, that's not the point. And I feel like you're not getting the point. I understand that you got me. Even like in my relationships, I'm not normally the person that pays for dates, whether I'm dating a woman or a man. It doesn't matter. She normally plans dates. She pays for the dates and all types of stuff. I get that. But I like to know that I could if I wanted to. Or we could go out and we could order whatever the fuck we want to order, and I slip the waitress my car real quick, and then she go to pay, like, nah, babe, I already did it. But if I don't have that option to do that, I'm not comfortable, so I'm not leaving my house. I do not leave my house unless there's a certain amount of zeros in my available bank account.
I am going through this thing with dating people, and I'm starting to make better choices. When I first got out of a relationship, I was making horrible choices. I ain't gonna lie. It was straight up looks. And thank God I survived that and got out of it alive. Because booty and titties will fuck your whole life up. You fuck around and have another baby on the way. Fuck around, have beef with somebody's baby father. You don't know what the fuck going on out here. But I'm getting old. My daughter asked me the other day, she's like, so you just gonna be like single? Like this is the plan? You know what I mean? I'm like, nah, I'm gonna be all right. I'm pretty good looking. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'll be all right. And then I saw this clip. Hate this for me.
A man over 50, even if he got millions of dollars, find true love. And I think the answer is no.
No.
You over 50.
You can't. Even why a man over 50 can't find true love?
You've been out here 50 years and you ain't picked the right one.
Yeah. And now you gotta wonder, is they liking you for you or is they liking you for the money you got? So that's a barrier right there.
If you're over 50, it's definitely the money.
But ain't the money a part of you though at that age?
No. Money goes away.
You can lose it tomorrow. Do you like me for me?
And when she get control of your money, you go away.
Yeah.
It's a cold game.
I'm glad you here to talk to these two, man.
So what about? Okay, I see where y'all going with this, but let's say it's a woman. A woman gets over 50 and she may not be as beautiful as she once was, and you know what I'm saying, and you fell in love with her looks and beauty. You don't leave her just because she's not as attractive. That comes with age.
You have a girl that's been in your life and she's solid with you. You supposed to hold her down. You know what I'm saying? And just see people who better behind her back. That's how it works in America. Just saying it out loud is what's shocking. But when you have a girl that you've been with a long time, especially if she fall off in the looks department or the weight department, you still cherish her and treat her good. But when she's not around, you do things you want to do.
That went. I didn't listen to the whole thing.
He went off the hill.
I was like, oh fuck, where are they going with this shit? I was That's gonna lead us into the next clip. I don't know if you saw the girl that was saying that women need to get married right after.
Oh, Ebony K. Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But does that land for men? Do you think, Trom? You think as you get older, you think that it's still gonna be as easy if this relationship doesn't work out to find another one?
Yeah, I don't agree with that clip. And you know, I'm somebody. I've been around a lot of weddings. I've heard hundreds of vows, and I know people personally that's over 50. A lot of people, they get remarried, right? So it's not like you never found love. You just shit don't work out. Most marriages end in divorces. Most, couples break up. It's just a fact of life. So if you're 50 and single, that don't mean you can't find love. You probably did find love, but it didn't work out. So now on your second or third go around, you're probably a little bit more well-versed. The people that I know that are remarried, the vows that I hear when I'm at these ceremonies and doing these weddings is different when they're a little older and they're seasoned. They know what didn't work the first time. A lot of times when you get married young, you just blinded and you just get married just to do it because you think you're supposed to. People in their 50s, they marry their best friend. Those couples, that's love. That's from what I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that works if you were married before.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if somebody...
When we say that, what is that?
Like that whole notion of finding love again and getting married and finding the one. I think that it works when you have that type of experience. Yeah. But if you've never been married before and you've only had girlfriends, I don't know if you ever going to get to that point to be like, I'm going to be married and find my soulmate, because you didn't have the trial and error part yet. So
what
I feel like it works.
You're gauging it by once you've been married? Like, what do you think that you're able to say, that didn't work. These things didn't work. Now let me look for these. What are the these on both sides? I
personally think that, like, I know how some people might judge women or men that if after a certain age they didn't have children, because like it's like a running joke, but I think there's also some truth in it. Like, yo, nobody ever wanted to lock you down. Nobody ever, wanted to expand their family with you. There's something wrong with you type of a conversation. If I'm in my 50s, I would judge somebody that has never been married. So wait, you're single not because you're divorced, but because you're single? So you just been single for 50 years? Mm-hmm. I'm looking at you funny in the light. I personally would.
What if he was a doctor? What if they like, yo, my career was one of the biggest things to me.
I'm
I was
still
always
looking at you funny in the light.
Why?
Because
he's showing commitment.
But you're showing commitment to something that I don't value as much as you do. So for me, when you talk about love and family and marriage, like there's a certain value in that. Like I feel like when you're of an older age and you're like, oh, I decided to focus on my career first, and now in my older age I care about family. I'm like, so you just got here caring about family. So do you really care? Do you really know what it looks like, what it feels like to actually focus on something that is not the thing that you've been focused on all of these other decades? Because that's a learning curve. Do I want to be the guinea pig of your learning curve? Not really. I would more so want to marry somebody that was divorced than somebody that was single for 40 fucking years. That to me, like that's a red flag in there somewhere. There's something there that's not right.
A lot of divorcees are wild though. Like those people be at the wildest stage in their life. Like not everybody, but a lot of people.
But a divorcee that is ready to get married again,
right?
I feel like
so
they're
that's
calm.
different.
I'm not talking about somebody that you just got divorced
fresh
last week because you outside.
Fresh out.
Yeah, like I get that you outside. But a divorcee that wants to get married again, and you understand what family is like. You understand what that value is like. You understand what that commitment is like. It didn't work out for you, but there's a learning curve that you don't have to go through.
Facts.
And that's just how I feel about it.
I'm stuck on that answer. And the reason why is because it's like you're saying that a failure is better than a not attempt.
Yes.
Right? And so I get it because you're saying, all right, you tried. It was in your makeup. Mm-hmm. It was in your relationship genetic code to actually bond with somebody. Mm-hmm. So I get it. Baggage doesn't count in that, right?
Not
baggage in that is actually positive baggage because you knew what didn't work for you. You were able to walk away from it.
It's work experience.
Yes.
It's work experience. Mm-hmm. But is there such a thing as a person needing a connection even if it's a toxic connection? Because like, just because you got married doesn't mean that you want to get married again, doesn't mean that you want to get married for the right reasons. Maybe you just don't want to seem like a failure because you failed at your first one.
I don't know if there's many people that would get married again just to not seem like a failure. I think that they would get married again. No, Kanye is not the same person. You know?
He got married immediately after. Like, oh no, I'm married again, bitch. I don't need you. To another white woman, I don't need you. It doesn't matter.
But I think that people that have never. It's strange to me that you never wanted to commit to anybody in decades.
I don't think it's that.
Or you just didn't have it.
Yeah.
But how does that just not happen?
It happens.
Like I don't get it, and I'm literally speaking for me. I personally don't understand. The first time I was proposed to, I was 19. The second time, no, not the second time. The almost in the middle, I was 25, and I was just like, nigga, don't you dare. Don't you even think about it, because we not going to make it past this year. Don't even do it. Mm-hmm. Like, I've always thought about love and marriage and family unit. Like, I've always understood that. So, I don't know how I would receive somebody that never
For a woman to tell me that she's been almost engaged 3 times in her life and never been married, that's a red flag for me.
Why?
I don't know. It just makes me feel like you're gonna self-destruct, or you're gonna destroy this no matter how dope it seems at the point where we're all the way up, something bad is gonna happen. That's where your track record leads.
I think it depends on why they didn't work.
Each one, there's always a why.
Every breakup is a why.
When it seemed so good to the point where I wanted to marry you, and some point after that, between me wanting to marry you to getting to the actual wedding, things fell apart every time. That's going to be a red flag.
There's only one time. Well, one time he went to prison for 25 to life. I wasn't doing that.
That was the first?
That was the first time.
You were married an ex-murderer?
No, I didn't.
You knew him?
No.
You knew his mom? You knew his family? And he wound up killing 14 people?
No. So what happened was, honestly, this person in particular, he was like a childhood crush. Our parents grew up together. We grew up on the same block. I thought like the sun rose and set on his ass. And he moved to Maryland with his mom when we were in high school. One day I'm walking down the street. Mind you, I had a boyfriend at the time. One day I'm walking down the street. I'm walking down Bedford Avenue. And then I turn on Fulton and we just walk smack into each other. And I'm like, oh shit. What's up? Where you been? Da-da-da-da. I broke up with my boyfriend the same day. Because I'm like, nah, this is my... I'm here with this person, right? And like in my head, it was like the fairy tale, like, oh, we grew up together, we grew next door to each other, we're gonna get married, and everything's gonna be great, and everything was great until it wasn't. And what I realized was I can't be with somebody that is insecure, and he was a very insecure person. And what made the engagement go downhill was a situation happened. I'm going to tell y'all what happened, and then I'm going to tell you what he said happened, and that let me know that this nigga was off his shit. Me and him, we were coming out the train station, the G train station on Lafayette, right? Coming out the train station, we walking to my old block. I run into a friend that I hadn't seen in mad long. Now, mind you, me and him are just walking, but we're not walking next to each other. Like, it's very easy to think that we're not together with the amount of space that we were walking, right? Mm-hmm. So my friend runs up to me. He's like, yo, Daj, what's up? And he gives me like this big ass bear hug. And he kind of like lifts me up a little bit. And then he put me back down. And I'm like, oh shit, that's
Your
weird.
feet were off the ground?
Like a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my feet a little bit off the ground. So then he puts me back down. And I'm like, yo, what's good? And I went to go introduce him to my nigga, but my nigga kept walking.
Oh, yeah.
So now he's all the way up the block at this point. So we talking or whatever, like, yo, you know, we gotta catch up, da 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 da, whatever, we leave. My nigga got attitude.
Of course.
He is mad. Mm-hmm. So now, but here's my thing. My vantage point was, this is the type of person, like, that was the relationship we had. Like, we always gave each other bear hugs, and he was bigger than me, so he would, like, lift me up. But if you don't see or you don't feel like I'm walking with a nigga, like, you're not going to think that it's wrong, and you're so far away, I can't be like, my nigga's up the block. Like, it was an awkward type of moment. So what happened was, we left or whatever, and he called his brother. And his brother called me and was like, yo, you really out here wilding. And I'm like, what did I do? He was like, my brother told me that y'all was walking down the street together and you ran into a nigga arms and he picked you up and twirled you around like y'all was in a fucking romance movie and then put you back down. Like, why would you violate my brother? I said, nigga, that did not happen. But what I did understand was my boyfriend, fiance, whatever, at the time, he was very insecure and he felt inadequate in his own life, so that projected out into other facets of life. It got to a point that one day I would like invite him out with like me and my friends and shit, like, yo, me and my friends, we going here, we going there, you want to come, you want to link, we going here, da da da. And he would always say no and catch your attitude and then not speak to me for the rest of the night.
This is after
this is hug? Like in the relationship, like these are the things that were happening. So one
after
day,
the hug or before the hug?
Before, after, okay. During the whole relationship. So one day we got into an argument and I'm just like, yo, why is it that every time I go out with my friends, you mad? Why is it that every time, you know, I'm hanging out or I'm like having fun, you got an attitude? And he was like, I don't have an attitude every time you go out with your friends. I have an attitude every time you go outside, period.
Oh, damn.
And I'm like, excuse me?
Oh, he loved that ass.
I'm like, excuse me? Like, what do you mean? Like, I used to be in class and a nigga will call me and be like, yo, I need you to come home. I'm in class. For what? I just need you to come home right now. I couldn't marry that person because that was already a lot of red flags and signs that told me that it was going to be worse. Yeah. So I couldn't marry that person. So yes, I cut that relationship off. I don't think that is a red flag or a notch to me. I think that is me understanding that I identified red flags and I decided to walk away from somebody that I really cared about. And then the next summer he went to jail. So
imagine if there's a lot of people out there till their 50s that they're dealing with people like it's just like red flags or something happens and it just doesn't end up in 19. Marriage.
So that you telling me in your 20s and in your 30s you can't identify red flags? You can't get yourself out of situations?
I'm not saying like every single time there's like a red flag, but it's just like it just doesn't end in marriage. Like sometimes things just don't work out.
Even if it's not your fault, I understand what you're saying, Melly. I also see what you're saying, Dodge, because it reminds me of a clip I saw somewhere on the internet where they was talking about practice. Like a man needs practice in a relationship. You can't be a player your whole life and then
what you fucking get? This because you said what the fuck you fucking get. Because who the fuck told you? I asked you if you wanted one.
I thought you asked me to taste it.
I said, do you want one?
You didn't. Did you hear the words? Because he mouthed it.
And throw it towards your face.
Because I thought you asked me to taste it and you looked at it like, take it, so I took it. You ain't say nothing. But yes, I would like one.
See how I share? No problem.
But you really just got up in the middle of the show, made a drink, sat down.
I needed it though.
And then you said
I needed it.
So you're talking, right? So I'm like, yo, so you hate us?
All right, go ahead. I asked you if you wanted one.
I thought you were asking me to taste
it on your shirt. Go ahead, Tron. What were you saying?
But yes, I do want one.
Oh, I was talking about I'm good. Where Dodge's point makes sense. I saw this clip going around on the internet. These dudes was talking, might have been a podcast or something, and he was basically saying that men need practice, meaning like you can't be a player your whole life and then meet the woman of your dreams and then all of a sudden you're like king monogamy.
The best person in a relationship.
You're not gonna be. it's hard to be monogamous. You can't turn off all your old habits and your old ways of doing things and just be a monogamous. Like it's not. You need practice. So I understand that first trial run of marriage is probably beneficial. I also understand what you're saying, Melly. Like it's not your fault if it don't happen necessarily. I wouldn't say it's a red flag if you don't find it, but I would say that you're a little less prepared for marriage if you're in your 50s and you haven't been married before because you haven't had that practice of real life commitment.
Exactly. That's the point.
God.
But no matter what age it is, if you have never been married before, you're not going to be prepared for marriage if it's your first time. So
but you actually still have that practice.
In your 50s, you're a little bit more settled in your ways, and you're not as malleable.
That's
like
true.
You know, you're too far gone. You know.
But you know what else I would judge a man on, and I don't think it's like
it's just gonna be more difficult.
Yeah, I judge a man on if you've never proposed before. Also. Like, I feel like I would judge you on that more so than never being married. I'm like, so there's never been a woman in your life that you loved enough to propose to? And especially if you say things to me like, yo, my longest relationship was 10 years. You ain't never proposed to that person you've been with for 10 years? I'm judging the fuck out of you. Like, I'm judging you. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not saying that my way of thinking is the right way, but this is really my way of thinking. Like, I would really just be like, that's weird.
So I'm not judging you as far as who you are as a human being, but I will judge you on what I think your success rate will be in your marriage now in your 50s because I got a lot of friends that's my friends we all in our upper 40s whatever, and there's a lot of niggas I'm like it's gonna be tough for you because you haven't done this before. It was a huge transition for me.
Yes.
What about me?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think it's going to be easier for you than a lot of niggas that I know because you haven't been a player your whole life. You know how to be single. You know how to be in a committed relationship. You know how to be monogamous. And you are a good person, and I think you are a good person in a relationship.
So then you're talking about, because you're talking about two different people. You said men that are just players, but there's men out there that have had relationships, like girlfriends. Right. They just haven't gotten married. So that's two different things. Then you have a player, someone that's like never been in a relationship. That's crazy. Just a player, like for 50 years, never been in a relationship, no girlfriend, no committed relationship.
But you ain't never been faithful. You haven't been 100% monogamous.
That's crazy.
It's different. There's different levels to the shit.
Josh, you said I would not be able to get married.
I didn't say that. You said, do I think it's going to be difficult for you? And I said, yes.
Why?
I feel like the older you get, the more difficult it's going to get for you.
I ain't saying nothing wrong. I'm listening to you.
I just believe that because I believe that
I've been in several 4-year relationships.
That's a lot.
I agree.
You've never proposed to anybody.
Each one had things that were like innately unhealthy.
I understand that.
Unhealthy. So it's like it's not that I wasn't good at trying to make shit work. It just I knew what wasn't going to be successful in the long term.
But I also feel like, so this is a conversation that me and my friends had. I don't want to throw this on you, so I'm going to take it from you for a second and I'm going to bring it back to you. Me and my friends were having a conversation about the longevity of relationships. And I said that I commend them because they actually tried with niggas where I don't. I will leave. Like, I'm not trying to make fetch happen. If I don't see it, it could be 8 months in and I don't see it. I could be wrong, I could be right, but if I don't see it, I'm leaving. I'm not going to stay for 3-4 years and try to figure it out. I'm going to leave. Whereas I have friends that have had 5-year relationships, 10-year relationships, 4 years, 7 years, and I'm just like,
I think they're the better ones.
And I think that they wasted more time because they identified that there was a problem, and instead of packing up and leaving, you try to force something to work that you knew innately wasn't going to work. And I think that that's where the problem
I think that
lies.
there's always going to be things that aren't perfect. There's always going to be things to work on, and it's always, you're talking about force, and I think that's a choice of words that you're using.
Yes.
When you get with somebody, you realize that y'all have issues. You're gonna give it time. You give it enough time. You say, you know what? Let's go to therapy. Let's work on it. You're not just gonna be like instant gratification. All right, this isn't working. Off to the next thing. That to me is a failed way of dating. And I also don't think that that's something that's gonna work in a marriage.
No,
that's not gonna work, and even in an engagement, you're not gonna get to the point where you say, yo, you know what? We can get through things together. That's what the fuck. Life is always gonna have a turn, obstacle, rocks, roads that you don't think you could travel.
I agree.
You need to be able to walk those with somebody.
Exactly.
And being in a 7-year relationship or a 4 or whatever, it says that you're willing to try that.
But I also think that when most relationships end, they're not ending because of something that, like a life trial that change the trajectory. I feel like most times when those longevity type relationships end, they end because of something that was already there, something that was innate between you and that other person that you had identified 2-3 years ago, but you either tried to ignore or you tried to look past or you tried to say, all right, so this is them, I'm gonna love them through that, and then you got to a point where you're like, I can't do it anymore. So what I'm saying is I'm judging you more for not respecting and understanding people are who they are sometimes. I'm not talking about we're in a relationship and you lose your job and now we're struggling and we have to be there for each other. I'm not talking about it like that. I'm talking about innate personality things.
I think that very good point. Super good point. And I could take that to myself. But I also think that I admire the man or the woman that can look at their partner and say, that's just who they are. And I love them anyway. And it's like those people that can walk with that and they're still good at being in a relationship and say, yo, you know what? Sometimes my wife is crazy. I love her anyway. Sometimes my husband is bugged out. I love him anyway.
But you wouldn't break up for that.
I think nowadays we have those options. And you're talking about marriage. Back in the days, your grandparents might have stayed together 30, 40, 50 years and they knew that their husband was this, or they knew that their wife was mad annoying or whatever, and it got to the point where sometimes they would stay in different rooms. Now, I'm not saying that that's healthy, but I'm saying on the adverse, nowadays, leaving is way too fucking easy. There's always going to be a deal breaker, impending end doom. Like, oh, no. I'm not dealing with that. No, I'm not dealing with that. And that's okay. It's always going to be that. Yeah. It's never going to be a situation where that's not a thing. Yep. You understand what I'm saying? And so if you're looking for that, I don't think you will be the person that will have a successful marriage. Facts. I personally don't.
No.
Let's move on.
Yeah, I feel like in that sense we can agree to disagree, and that's perfectly fine. But I would like to say really quickly that I think that in Trump's scenario, the player would probably get married faster than the person that were in a bunch of longevity failed relationships, because I feel like the player had more experiences of just being able to just like bounce around, and then they will meet one person and be married in like 6 months and just jump in head first and not thinking about all of the, how is this gonna work? We ain't been together long enough. Like, you see that shit often. Like, you'll be with somebody for mad long, you break up, and then all of a sudden they married to somebody else, and you're like, wait, what the fuck happened? Because they just jumped in head first. Was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna try.
I agree with you there. The discussion was around how successful is he gonna be being monogamous.
Yeah, maybe not.
He's not used to that.
But he might get married first.
Right, and then he's going to cheat on her, and then it's going to be an issue.
Maybe.
And then he'll probably be better in the second marriage.
Now, Ebony K. Williams, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to resonate with anybody. I don't know if y'all going to agree. I found it interesting. I'll save my opinion till after we play.
And then I have to retort to that too, that I want to play.
Great.
The reality that needs to be said out loud is that as black men age, their desirability increases. Thus, their optionality of women is always expanding. And the exact opposite is true for black women. As we age, doesn't matter how much money we accumulate, our degrees or professional accolades, the reality is that our marriage and partnership market value is depreciating with every passing year. No matter how good we look, no matter how fit we are, men are still seeing primarily our presumed dwindling fertility as a knock against us. And speaking of fertility, that is another reason that I want younger black women to seek marriage and partnership in college or right after, if that's what they choose. Because the number of college-educated black men is so low when compared to black college-educated women that we're all going to be targeting the same small pool of men. And as we heard today, on most campuses, there's like 7 black women students for every 1 black man student. Y'all do the math. So here's my advice. If you are a young black woman in college and you know in your heart and in your head that you want to prioritize family, I suggest that you simultaneously pursue that MRS degree right along with that BA or JD. Because a handful of black college-age men that actually do desire to get married soon, and they do share that value system, and family is a priority for them too, y'all, that is an incredibly small pool, and it's shrinking as you get older. And by the time you reach my age, 40, you will be faced with different choices relating to life partnership and motherhood. Now, I'm not saying that delaying marriage or motherhood is a bad option, but it's one that comes with its own consequences. And our women deserve to know on the front end of their decision making instead of on the back half.
Like I said, I was speaking about from the earlier clip, and I lined a lot of these clips up so that the conversation was progressive. So, one goes towards the last. This one spoke to me because she was like, well, as you get older, man, you're still able to, you're still desirable,
yes.
And as a woman, your desirability becomes lower as you get past the fertility ages. What do you guys think?
She on her Kevin Samuels shit with that one. And I think it's all facts. I think it's all true.
The way she delivered it is a little bit more easier in the ears than
a fact,
Kevin
of course.
Samuels, but same message. Okay.
Same message. And to your point, I think, and we've kind of alluded to this on the show before. Like, men usually are more attractive with how stable they are with their finances, and when you're older, you have a certain level of power and influence and money. So as you get older, you become more attractive for to be a husband, right? And women, we talk about their values a lot on their looks. I never really heard about the fertility thing, but that makes sense. If that's what you want as a man, and you want to settle down and you want to have a family, obviously you want somebody that can have a baby.
Fertility is one thing, but it goes into sexuality. It's sex, the way women look, and things like that. It's that's all in the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Titties, ass, looks. How can you get my dick hard?
So I get that. I don't think she said anything wrong. I think she was very clear in saying, if this is what you want, if this is a priority for you and your college years, then you should pay more attention to this message, because you're gonna regret it later. If you try to, absolutely, 1,000%.
I kind of disagree with that personally.
Why?
You don't know shit coming out of college. You don't know who you are coming out of college. You haven't done enough work. Like, I think getting married right out of college is the recipe for your first divorce.
So how do you feel about when our grandparents got married right out of high school?
Different life, different time.
What's so different about it?
Less options, less world. Our parents did not know. Africa was like a myth to our grandparents. We knew about it. They knew about it, but they couldn't see it. They couldn't touch it. They didn't know what the fuck is going on. The world is so much smaller now in so many different ways. And so comparing where we are now to our grandparents is why I said, in our last conversation, what they went through back then, you can't compare that to what we go through now. It's just completely different. Getting married right out of college, you don't know the world yet. You don't even know yourself yet. You've been in controlled environments your entire life.
Okay.
You don't know what it's like to be a grown ass woman with your own shit, your own kids, you don't even probably know your real body yet. You're still going by what people told you was cool for you through high school and college.
So
you don't have the agency yet to say, nah, this is what I like. Good.
So how do you feel about people that have children in their early 20s?
As far as what? What's the question?
Do you feel the same way that people shouldn't have children in their early 20s because they don't know the world yet and they don't know themselves yet and they don't know I don't get
Yes.
The math is not mathing.
I never
me.
tell people to have kids.
That is true.
I don't give a fuck what age they are.
That's true. I agree. 10 out of 10 would not
Definitely
recommend.
not young.
I think that
kids
I
ruin
think
your
the
fucking
exact
life.
opposite, honestly. And I think that this is a conversation that needs to be had within the Black community, because I feel like in other communities it's had. I feel like, and I said all the time, that we were told this lie of independence and school first and everything can wait. And now everybody done all the things that your mom and your grandmother said. They said to wait. They said do your school first, do your career first. And niggas is out here upset, bitter, and mad and every day.
Can I contest that with, I never like to compare the Black experience with other people's experiences.
But
I
it's
also,
a real
wait
thing.
a second, I also don't think that it's not the same equation.
Why?
White people have legacy. White people have an example of positive community, a positive family. This is what they come from. Even if you look at Asians, right? They do it the way it's been done because it's functional. It works for them every way. Like,
and where did we go astray?
We don't have that.
Why? What happened? Where did we go
astray?
astray?
We are, Black Americans have a different experience and need to identify with their experience. It's different than every
so their experience is single motherhood,
on the
being
word.
not
I didn't
married.
say that. I said don't be a single mother. Don't have kids early.
But
make sure that the situation and relationship that you get in is one that's sustainable and not one that's in a controlled environment, especially controlled by social media and things like society does a lot which influences us. It does not influence Asians like that. It does not influence Mexicans like that. White people like that. We are most susceptible to outside influences because we don't really have much.
I don't think that's true. You think about the Jack and Jill children of the world.
That's also a controlled environment.
There's still legacies in the Black community.
They're the ones that are handpicked out of our communities because you're quote unquote special. You're quote unquote special, and you can live
still a part of our community.
Western values, Jack and Jill. They say, "Yo, this is the way we do it." Cotillions and clubs and shit like that.
I agree
no disrespect
with
to them. I love them. I wish it was pushed on us more as a community. But it is special kids. And now, if y'all don't know Jack and Jill, Trom has you've lived in that. It's almost like when you go to a specialized school, right? Jack and Jill is a community of people that say you're a specialized person.
Yes.
We want you in this special community where we will teach you, we will help you, we will give you networks. Yeah. Am I right?
I wouldn't describe it in that way. I understand what you're saying. You're getting there, but it's not necessarily designed for like special, like better than. But it is it is typically upper middle class Black families. And a lot of the reason behind it was a lot of these upper middle class families sending their kids to private schools, in all white schools.
And you gotta have money.
So now,
it costs money to be in Jack and Jill. Thousands. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So it's not like a membership or nothing, but there are activities and shit. You don't gotta pay like thousands in membership fees. Okay. It's not crazy, but it's.
Were you in Jack and Jill?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So it's more like I said, the theory behind it was a lot of these families, their kids go to mostly white schools. So their kids grow up almost whitewashed. So they create a community of similar experienced Black kids, and now they have their Black culture, and they have a Black culture. Which is
why I said they're going by Western values, because they grow to these white schools.
Right.
But then even if you could take it away from Jack and Jill and you think about like the Divine Nine and how some people in fraternities and sororities, they wind up getting married together and then they create their own legacies. Like there literally is something called a legacy. If your mom or your dad was in this organization, then you are a legacy into this organization as well. I feel like we do have the same things, and I also feel like it is important to say to people like, listen, if you value marriage and if you value family, this is a good time for you to start taking that seriously as well as taking your career seriously at the same time. These are two things that can happen at the same time. We see it happen in other cultures, and it should also be happening more in our culture as well. Let's say, for instance, maybe some marriages will fail. Okay, more than half of marriages fail across the board, whatever. Then you can do it again, or you cannot do it again. But I don't like the fact that people constantly put in Black women faces the statistics of we are the least married. We're the most educated and the least married. Like it's impossible for us to do it at the same time. It is possible to get both. But you have to have that mentality from young. The mentality that was pushed into my generation's head from young was fuck marriage, fuck kids, get your education, get in your career, and then do marriage and kids. But they don't tell you the flip side of that is when you're older is more difficult. When you're older, it's more difficult to settle down with the right type of person. It's difficult to settle down with a person that you feel like is compatible to you. If you want to talk about finances, education, whatever, it's very difficult. If more of us knew younger in our 20s when we was out we outside, and we were actually trying to zero in and trying to figure out who's the right person and trying to aspire to where we are now, we would be better off. It doesn't have to be for everybody, but I think there's a nice chunk of women that this is important for them to know.
No? I thought you had something to say. No? You're good? You just back there ad-libbing, as you always. Me personally, Dash, you keep mentioning select groups of people that are out of our community that are in a better situation and already have some sort of direction. And everybody's going to be different, right? But if you're talking about Divine Nine, if you're talking about the Jack and Jill, they've already said, I want structure. They're in that space already. A lot of people aren't living that way. So if I'm talking about what Ebony K. Williams says right here, I just want to be mindful that we're talking about people that come from broken homes, most of us. And thank God, to me, there's a new stat out, and I was going to bring that up today, where it says, you saw that stat, right?
Yeah,
the number of children growing up with two parents has increased to 70% for the first time in 30 years. I think social media, that's one of the benefits of social media today, is that we're speaking up about our experiences, and men are able to say, all right, I don't want to be that guy. First of all, that guy is not getting no pussy. That guy, I think, pussy matters. You know what I'm saying? The way people view you, it matters. So you're now go get your kids. You don't want to be a Father's Day father. The only type to do, you just pick up your kids on Father's Day. You're like, no, I'm over here with my kids. National Daughters Day, National Sons Day. You know what I'm saying? So you're doing more. And I think that we're changing the narrative around what our children are experiencing growing up. Now, just because you're growing up with two parents doesn't mean that the parents are together. It means that you have a weekend dad. You're able to experience two different families, and you're actually adding to that child's experience growing up. But right now, coming out of college, who are you? My darling, who are you? Shout out to Randy with Randy, I can't remember her last name, but you are an example of a child that has not had a male figure in your house most times, that has been controlled a lot by social media. Shit, my mother's controlled by social media right now, let alone what the fucking youth is. The teens are. What are your real values right now? Most of these kids is talking about buying 1942. I asked Loon, we doing a live show for fucking Hard to Soft. He's like, what liquors we buying? He's like, 1942. I said, for fucking the bar? 1940, why? He's like, I don't drink. I see it on social media. This nigga's 30. When you think about how social media is affecting people, you gotta find out who you are first before you even try to seriously intertwine with somebody else. Me personally, I think it takes time into life. Don't take the shit that seriously coming out. Figure out who the fuck you are. Don't put that much pressure on yourself. To me, this Ebony K. Williams shit is from a privileged space. Divine Nine, Jack and Jill, those people who already have two parents, who already know what they're coming from, where they're going, do that. I wouldn't put that on everybody. I just wouldn't.
But she didn't put it on everybody.
But she's speaking from her experience and the people that identify with her.
She's speaking of people that's ready for that.
Yes.
That want that. And the reason why I agree with it, because I also feel like our generation was probably the first generation that really rejected the traditional, the way our parents were. We rejected
generation
that.
Fucked everything up.
We didn't fuck everything up. We saw how fucked up everything was before us. No,
it wasn't our generation.
We saw
the one before us.
We saw how fucked up a lot of the institutions of religion was, how corrupt it was. We saw how fucked up politics is. We saw how fucked up getting a job and working there for 40 years to get a pension just to live check to check. We saw how fucked up that was. The problem with our generation is we went too far. we saw how fucked up it was, and we was like, yo, we're gonna go in the other direction. And we went too far in the other direction, and we lost some of that stability and structure.
Yep,
so now it's up to this generation to find that balance, because we weren't wrong, but we just were trying to figure it out. We knew that what our parents and grandparents were doing, we knew that wasn't it. But we just went a little too far left, right? So now it's about the balance. So I think what Ebony K. Williams is talking about is like, all right, we can have some balance here. Some of the people, not everybody, some of the people could come back to that traditional stability, coming out of college, professional black people.
Do you think it's a successful equation?
I think I've seen it. I think it is a successful equation for people that have the personality for it and for the people that want that. Because I look at a lot of people in their 20s that it's not a good idea for, but most of those people are like socialites, like to hang out. Yeah, it's probably not a good idea for you to get married young.
Who do you think it would work for?
I think it would work for, there's a lot of people that are just want to get out of college, get a good job, and start a family. And we might have considered them squares back in the day, right? But we was in the streets wilding and doing all this shit, and we were socialites. Not everybody's like that though.
Honestly,
so for the people that ain't like that, I think I look at people that started families like that, and they have such a dope foundation. And it's kind of like, I wouldn't change nothing in my life, but sometimes I envy that. Like the 2-family household, no baby mama shit. Like
robbing them.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Rob's crib, and I'm like, wow, how long is this?
2 professional black, doing well, kids doing well. I'm like, ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't think that they missing that.
Is that how we mostly are? Most of us ain't.
Because a lot of us is social, and we like a little bit more, I don't know. We just different. That's why I say it's for everybody.
Would there be urban? Would there be hip hop? Like, that type of person isn't the type to contribute to the culture.
Right.
Yeah.
The type Ebony K. Williams is talking about is a professional black person. You could come out of college and work as an investment banker or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Get a 401k, live out the American dream, quote unquote.
And I personally feel like when you're talking about who are these people or who will relate to this, I feel like that was always me. Like, I always aspired to be like the Huxtables in a way. I always wanted to get married and live in a house and have a career. My husband have his career and we have kids together. Like, that is something that I always wanted, which is part of the reason why I did not waste time on things and situations and relationships that I felt like it wasn't going to lead me there. I would so much rather break up with you if I don't see it. Like, I would literally date people and like, can I see myself marrying this person? Nah. All right, I'll have fun with it for the next couple months, and then I'm just gonna fucking move on. Like, if I can't see it, if I can't see it, I'm going to let it go. That was always me, and this is what I've always wanted, which is why even now I value family. I get upset if I miss out on little things. My friends is like, "Oh, you just missed one thing." No, I don't want to miss anything. Like, I don't want to miss not one trip to the zoo. I don't want to miss not one doctor's appointment. I don't want to miss anything. I want to cultivate this life with my family. My latest favorite not show that's not on anymore, Black as Fuck, when it was on Netflix, I loved that show. I loved the fact that the kids were all over the place. The parents was like cursing each other out. They was like kind of against the kids, like, yo, these little motherfuckers is crazy. Like, that's the type of organized chaos that I want. And it made me like, damn, do I need to have more kids? Like, I don't want to birth them. I might have to adopt a couple or something. Like, but like, that is the type of organized chaos that I want. That's what I aspire to.
Well,
family.
I think that this generation is, I don't know if y'all gonna agree with this, but it just seems to me that this generation is one of the first in history where the parents and the kids are so close to each other in culture. We wear the same clothes, we listen to the same music, we watch the same shows. Like, we're not, the aunts and uncles don't look like aunts and uncles like they used to. You know what I'm saying? Even
like
grandma,
sisters.
like everybody kind of looks like we could be all just chilling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, but with that, I was talking to somebody at my job, and they were saying how years ago, the elders at the job, the senior guys at the job, they treated you like you was a young nigga, and they made sure to pour into you, protect you, and things like that. But now, the elders at the job kind of like your ops, because they're fighting for you to know that they're got more time than you. Mm-hmm. So they got to treat you a certain way, but it's because y'all kind of don't. There is no separation in age or culture. Mm-hmm. Y'all are kind of the same. So it's like you gotta be like, y'all nigga, I got more time than you. Nah, wait your turn, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whereas before they helped, now they kind of pushing the young niggas back. Now I don't really know if that is the way the culture is outside. That's just something that's happening on the inside of my job. But shit mirrors each other. Trav asks, are you saying professional blacks can't be hip hop? Yes.
How? Sophisticated ratchet, I write my curses in cursive, is literally like if I was still into tattoos, I would get that tatted on me. Like, that is one of the realest bars that I've ever heard, because I feel like that represents the whole.
Is that Hov?
Huh?
Who's that, Hov?
No, that's Kanye.
Kanye.
No, that's Kanye, not Ye. I don't know this new nigga. I keep telling y'all.
Did Kanye come from professional black?
Yeah, his mom was a teacher. His dad was a professional. He like a Black Panther or some shit like that. Like
Kanye was a backpacker. That yes, his moms and shit was doing that, but he wasn't just some. He didn't come from that. Like he came from
stability. He was not a street
on
nigga.
Tour with Talib Kweli and shit like that.
But he was not a street nigga. He's not a hood nigga. That's not who he is. He never talked about selling drugs and shit like that. Like, he came from
professional black family.
Yes, he came from a certain sector of black people that loved hip hop, but also can kind of dip and dab into both sides of society.
Am I wrong for thinking that hip hop came from people that was trying to rebel from society?
I'm not. I think that it's its origins, and I think that a lot of people of the elder generation of hip hop, this is why they don't like the Drakes and the Kanyes at the time, and the J. Coles, and some of them, like they don't relate to them. They just like, yo, these niggas is not like us. You understand? And I get that, but. Mm-hmm. So I feel like my friends we are the embodiment of the sophisticated ratchet. Like, we gonna turn up, we gonna pop bottles, we gonna stand on fucking couches and all the rest of that other shit, but we still have real solidified careers and real families.
But
and
do they
real
push the
shit.
culture forward?
I don't know.
Or they just celebrate it? They just in it?
I think we just experience it. I don't know if we push the culture forward. I think that we experience the culture, and I feel like if we're talking about pushing the culture forward, this is not gonna sound right, but I don't care. Like, the underclass of the black experience, they're pushing the culture into some bullshit right now. Yeah. So what are we talking about?
I also don't agree.
You don't?
No, I think that's white money. It's white money on top of black faces.
These crackhead rappers, they are not doing anything for the culture.
Fuck the niggas. I'm talking about the bitches. All these
They're not doing nothing either.
The sexy reds in them. Shout out to them though. But I just like, what the fuck is y'all doing with this culture?
But the funny thing is, they're not doing anything with it because they have no basis in it. There is no solidified
white dollars
base.
on it. White dollars that's pushing certain looks.
But it's not even about the white dollars.
The girls, the women dominating hip hop right now.
I'm not thinking about it in the monetary value. I'm thinking about it in the creative value. This generation has zero creativity, which is why the culture is stagnant. Every new song that comes out is a 90s beat. They're just taking the formula of what the older generation did. They're taking their flow, they're taking their sound, they're taking their music, and then they're repackaging it and throwing bullshit lyrics on top of it. Like, if you look at this new Fabio Foreign and Glorilla track, niggas took Nas Uchiwali through the cha-cha slide.
I hate it.
And drill raps. God. What the fuck are y'all doing?
I hate it. But it's gonna go.
What are you? And that's the sick part.
It's disgusting.
And it's nasty.
It's disgusting.
It is a disrespect to the culture. And these are the people that are pushing the culture forward. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say about Cardi and Bongos. At least that is an original track. It is not a remake. It is not a remix of shit that we've already heard. It sounds different. It looks different. It feels different.
You're the music person in the house. Mm-hmm. What do you think about this conversation? Now, Trav says the culture always evolves with the younger generation. It's the older generation that keeps it stable. I tend to agree with that.
I try not to be too critical of the younger, newer generation because I see parallels for us. Like, our parents were saying the same shit. Y'all ain't in the studio with live instruments making music like fucking the Temptations and Marvin Gaye and them. Y'all are recycling beats from the 80s. hip hop was built on samples. So now they're just sampling the hip hop generation from the previous years. So I mean, who are we to be like, oh, this shit ain't original? Neither was our shit. So I don't like when we start to sound like our parents. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I see a lot of parallels in music. We were listening to a lot of street shit, a lot of hood shit, a lot of ignorant gangster shit. It just sounds a little different. What I will say is the I guess the emphasis that we had on like lyrics and like real what we consider true hip hop culture isn't there. So I can understand those criticisms because it's like what I think is missing.
You don't see the lyric. You don't love the Booty Hole Brown. Pussy Pink Booty Hole Brown is crazy.
What I think is missing, and this isn't a knock on the new generation. It's just my opinion. What I think is missing is the talent. But I think in earlier generations, you really had to be talented because there was a process to get put on, to get a record deal, and then you had to have an A&R and, you know, be developed. So now it's just so easy to just put out content and for it to be catchy and for you to go viral, whatever, that some of these people don't have the talent. I love talent. You know what I mean? I don't just like shit that it sounded good and then I'm never going to hear from you again. A lot of this music that comes out now, I don't even download no more. I'll just stream it because in a year from now, I'm not going to need the song.
Nope.
The shit is not going to last. So that's the problem I have with certain things.
I don't know how the fuck we got here.
Word, right?
And now we are the JPB. JDP, whatever the fuck they call themselves over there. I have one more before we get into the real episode, which
you got
will
a
be
JPB
part 2.
outfit on.
Huh? This is, right? Thank you. I told you I need y'all help with dressing. I'm never going to sit here and act like I'm the best dresser. I'm the worst dresser in the room. It's fine. I don't care.
At least you cute, though.
Thank you.
That's
I appreciate that. I just, I brush my hair. I use body butter. And that's all I have. Look at Dina. That's Dina. Shut the fuck. I saw a clip that said, I don't want to join a family. I want to create one. And it's a young man speaking in his do-rag from his couch. And he's basically like, yo, fuck these bitches. Let's see what he has to say.
With a woman with kids, bro. You think I'm about to say that with a woman with kids, bro? And I don't have kids? She wouldn't even want me to do that. One kid? I'm good. Because I don't have to deal with that. That's what I be trying to tell y'all as a man. Bro, certain shit, bro, when you got your shit together, bro, you just don't have to deal with certain shit. You got all this going on for yourself and you finna settle for a single mother? God finna punish you for that one, boy. I gave you these riches. I gave you this kind of mindset and you just wasted it on another man's children? Why not take care of your own children? I don't want to join another family, bro. I want to create my own family, G. And if you shame me for that, that's okay.
Man.
Yo, this is what I'm talking. I feel like we live in a simulation. Like these niggas' brains be in blenders.
Is it?
Once his voice hit that octave, I was like, oh, this nigga.
First of all, my voice.
I sound like that nigga. That nigga sound like a bitch. Go ahead, build your own family, bitch.
To just want his own family.
It's
I know
not
a
bad.
lot of women that don't want to date niggas with kids.
Yeah.
So it's like literally messenger versus message.
It's definitely messenger versus message. You look like a 12-year-old. You in your little gamer chair. You screaming at a fucking phone. Like, then go find the family that you talking about. Go get your family, sir. Why does this have to do with us?
You sound a little offended.
I'm not offended. Why would I be offended?
You sound like you like talking about his chair and how he looks.
I feel like men, air quote that, males like that. I just don't understand where you fit in the stratosphere of the world. Like, are you making things better? Or what are we talking about right now?
He's saying, yo, I don't want to join a family. Girl,
but who asked him?
We haven't listened to the whole thing. We listened to the clip.
It sounds, but it doesn't sound crazy to you. It just sounds like a nigga that's chatting. You look like an internet nigga that's just chatting. Go touch grass. Go find this family that you talking about, and then come back and talk to us.
About the messenger. We only talked about the message.
I can't listen to the message when the messenger. When I don't find, what's the word I'm looking for?
Palatable.
No, it's not that. It's giving immature.
So, perfect. I was going to say the same because I'm not mad at what he's saying.
Me either.
I'm not mad at the content of the message. It makes sense.
Thank you. He is incredible. Yes, that's the word I was thinking of. Like, where's your credibility? You just yelling from your gamer chair.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say that because he's credible for his demographic. Yes. I guess there's other people that think like that, but I think he holds himself in a higher regard than he probably should. Delusions of grandeur. Honestly. So even if he's making a certain amount of money or whatever and he's doing well, he's young with no kids and he has standards, you should have standards. But a real dope nigga, the nigga that he thinks he is, would not have a problem, would not look at a single mom as a liability. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If you have enough love in your heart and enough money in your bank account, you can take care of another family and you would embrace it with open arms. And that's what being a real man is about. And
what do you mean by that, being a real man? Being
a real man is like, it don't have to be, I don't know, it just doesn't have to be, real men have sense of community and sense of love outside of their own self-interest. You understand? So being a responsible enough man to be a father figure for someone else's kids wouldn't bother you as much. You understand? It's a little selfish and immature, as Dodge said, to be like, oh, these ain't my kids. I'm gonna start my own family. Like that's not.
Do you think it's the
I
same
don't think that's king shit. I think it's immature shit. I understand what he's saying. He has a right to think that way, but I don't think what he's saying is as kingly as he thinks it is.
Do you think that women that say, I don't want to date men that have kids, I want to create my own family, is it the same mindset that you're saying here?
I have nothing wrong with this. I have nothing wrong with the mindset or the message. It's the delivery. Mm-hmm. His tone as if he's a special kind of nigga, so he don't have to deal with that. As if a single mom is something to deal with. Like that's a lowly thing that I have to deal with. Like that's the way it came off for me. You know what I mean? I got no problem with your preferences, or you don't want to date a man with kids. You don't want to date a woman with kids. I get all of that. You want to create your own family. I get all of that too. But don't come off like, you're holier than thou,
I don't know. It's just weird. This is a weird time in a weird space, honestly. To even be having like people feel so emboldened. Like, if that's what you want to do, then do it. Why is that something that has to be...
You really fucked up your sweater, by the way.
I did? I can't see it.
Whole stain right there.
Oh,
that sweater is fire.
It's a sweater.
Like, super fire.
I could probably clean it. Just leave it with me. I'll get it taken care of for you.
Oh, really?
Yep.
All right. You want it now or?
No.
After the show.
Because I don't know what you have on.
Right.
Nothing. I have nothing on here.
I tend to agree with you both. Go ahead, Dash.
I just don't understand why some people are just so emboldened to be yelling and screaming about.
Bro, we do the same thing.
I don't think we do. I feel like if you actually watch and pay attention to the show, then you understand that something got signed out. You did something, Tahoe. Damn. When you opened that.
Nuts.
I feel like we respond to other people and their things versus us yelling and screaming our own personal epithets, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like, we're just responding to other people's shit.
Yeah, and that's my point. Like, at what point are we building community? Like, anybody can selfishly talk about what would be great in their lives, but I'm talking about building community as black people, as black families and stuff like that. And that kind of mindset, it's not dope to me. You know what I mean?
And he also looks like he's 22 years old and don't know, like you say, don't know life yet. So you say this now. Have fun with that, sir.
Wisdom is a thing. Wisdom is a thing. Another reason why I think that it's important to wait before you get married. It's important for you to gain some life knowledge, life experiences. So many people, so many young people that I meet, and they're like, oh, I'm old for my age. I have an old soul. And I'm looking at them like,
do you?
Girl. You know what I'm saying? Because once you get to a place where you've gone through enough calamity, you've gone through enough bullshit, and you're starting to gauge it, you're able to avoid it. You know what I'm saying? You're able to counsel other people on it effectively. You're gaining wisdom. It takes time. It takes pain. Pain creates that. And unfortunately, for you, what you think you've gone through at 22, you won't even consider at 32. It's like the shit that I'm going through now at 32 is not even comparable. Like you can't even 22. Give me 22 pain. I would love that back compared to what I'm going through now. So you know, me personally, I personally love chicks with kids.
Mad snacks.
No, they don't want more.
Man, Capri Suns.
They don't want more kids.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They understand the value in IUDs. They understand, like, this, it's just, you know. Another thing is, y'all niggas in this feeding women shit, I don't understand the argument. You niggas like hungry women? I don't like being around anybody that's hungry. I don't like being around anybody that hasn't eaten.
Hangry is bad.
Because I was thinking about that, and I was like, hungry bitches is bad vibes. Super bad vibes. I'm a bad vibe when I'm hungry. Yeah. Why would I want to be around another? Because like I told you, I used to not eat because I was waiting for Chick to leave because I didn't want to share my food with her. So it'd be morning and I wouldn't cook breakfast because I only got 2 sausages and I want to give her one because I ate 2 sausages in the morning with my eggs and my French toast. So I'd just be like, what are you going to do? What you about to do? And then when she leave, I go heat up my food. Right. You know what I'm saying? Get to it. Right. But nowadays,
I'm so mad we like that because I used to do that shit too.
Yeah,
like, I used to just be saving shit in my fridge. Like, so you want to leave?
Just leave. I have my food already. What you?
Well, I know what I want to order, but I don't want to be like, oh, do you want some? I'm not paying for 2 meals right now. I just want to be by myself.
We're done. We're done.
See you later.
And so are we with part 1 of the So Shameless podcast. We are going off into the sunset. Well, not really. We're actually going into part 2, which our producer has pulled. Oh my God, the fucking topics that he came up with today.
I'm afraid.
So good. Tron, you going to take a drink in the second episode? Or you just going to let us be sitting here tipsy?
Nah, I think I will have a drink. I was going to go to the gym, but fuck the gym.
Fuck that. It's
fuck
raining.
the gym, son.
It's fucking monsoon outside.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Was you going to invite me?
Nope.
Tune in to part 2 right now on www.patreon.com/So Shameless Podcast, or we'll see you later this week. Peace.